Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here, and September has come to a close, so it's time for me to rank all 7 movies that I watched from worst to best in a tier ranking. Now, if you guys haven't seen certain movies that I'm going to talk about, you might want to click off and move to the next movie, because sometimes I do get into some spoilers when I talk about why I rank them where I rank them, so with that in mind, let's get into it. Alright, so we started off the month with The Conjuring Last Rites. Just for point of reference, I have not seen any of the Conjuring movies except for the Nun films. So that was my knowledge going into the final Conjuring movie. Yes, I probably should have watched the other ones so I could really feel the impact of this ending. But in any case, the Conjuring movies just haven't really, I don't know, they haven't grabbed me, hooked me, to want to watch them because I'm just not the biggest fan of the supernatural horror. I'm more into, slashers or psychological or body horror or, just gory stuff like that. So, honestly, this one, it's a totally fine movie. I think that Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga really, elevate it to something really good. In terms of the Conjuring films, at least from what I've seen, I would say that this is probably going to end up being one of the better ones for me. Just because I really like the wholesomeness in their relationship, Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they play them really well, and I think they have good chemistry together. In this one, their daughter gets mixed into everything, into the drama. The demon is actually after their daughter. And you even have, a third act showdown where the demon possesses the daughter for a bit, and they have to try and take her down and deal with this mirror that's trying to possess her and contains a demon from Ed and Lorraine's first case together. So that was pretty interesting. It did take a little bit to get going. The family that's included in here, I didn't find to be super interesting. I did care by the end because they just do so much horrible shit to them. I was like, alright, fine. I want them to live. Especially the dog. But overall, it just took a little while to really get to where what I wanted out of it, which was Ed and Lorraine, investigating this. They don't really start investigating this until there's maybe a half hour maybe left of the film when I really start getting them doing the investigation and figuring out the origin of the demons and all that kind of stuff. So, it's going on the mid-tier, not a bad movie whatsoever, just not one I see myself revisiting.
I know what that means, to have nothing and want everything.
What is that? Insurance. That's Jake from State Farm.
Highest to Lowest is the new Spike Lee joint, and I did have a really good time with this movie, even though I've only seen one other Spike Lee movie, which was The Five Bloods that came out about 5 years ago. I found myself to really enjoy this movie. It stars Denzel Washington, you got Jeffrey Wright in there. A$AP Rocky has a pretty prominent role in this, and he actually does a really great job. Denzel's a fucking class act anyway. He's a fucking awesome actor. I don't need to tell you guys this. If you've seen any of Denzel's work, you know what I'm talking about. And Spike Lee does a great job behind the camera. I like the way that he captures a lot of his movies. I've seen just clips of his movies and his style. I really do admire that. The movie does drag in a few places. There's a moments where it feels a bit off, where they're playing music that doesn't really hit with the scene that it's playing during. But I found it to be a pretty engaging movie overall. There was just moments where it would kind of hit a little bit of a speed bump where the plot would change from, oh, his son got kidnapped, but it's not his son. It's actually Jeffrey Wright's son. So now we got to figure out how, are we going to pay the ransom? Oh, okay, we are going to pay the ransom. And then he gets the money to him, and it's this whole complicated deal with the money where it gets stolen from him. And there's a lot of fallout from that whole situation. But oh wait, now we're actually going to try and find this guy, and they spend the rest of the movie kind of trying to find A$AP Rocky's character, young felon, and they eventually do find him, and he has a bit of a showdown with Denzel on a train, which I really did enjoy. I like their exchange in the recording studio, especially. That was a fun bit of dialogue, good scene there. So yeah, it's definitely told me that I want to check out more Spike Lee movies. It's going in the good tier.
This for me?
I'm so sorry, Mom!
It matters, man.
You're right. Every moment matters.
The Long Walk, aka the most depressing movie of the year, but also one of the best. I found The Long Walk to be a really engaging and intense movie, which is crazy because Stephen King wrote this when he was 17 years old. It's one of his first stories that he ever published, or that he ever wrote, even. And it's just people walking. It's just people walking. How can you turn that into a movie that's engaging and intense? Well, it's because of the cast, their performances, and the script that it really comes together and elevates it into something, even better than I think it was. This movie hit me harder. This movie hit me emotionally harder than any movie I've seen this year, and it's one of my favorite Stephen King adaptations, absolutely, without a doubt. I've seen it twice, actually. And maybe it does have to do with the timing of this movie coming out, because it came out during a time where we were going through shootings and assassinations and just all kinds of horrible, horrible shit happening within the span of that week. And it made me really look at the movie in a different way, where I'm like, this movie is just showing how we react to violence. Some of us are numb to it, some of us are amused by it, and some of us are devastated by it. And everyone felt a little bit of everything there, throughout the events that were happening. I saw TikToks that were just like fucking sadistic of some of these things that were happening. People making light of it, people being amused by it. And then there was obviously people that were devastated by it. And then there was people that just kind of shrugged their shoulders to it. We all have different ways of reacting to this violence. And this movie shows that as these boys are traveling. It's just a really brutal film. It's a heavy film, for sure. But it just works on so many levels for me. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough. So The Long Walk is going in the awesome tier.
In this game, violence is rewarded, so learn to enjoy it.
Get your shit together!
Well, a lot of Jordan Peele fans were disappointed this month when they went to go see Him, starring Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Winters. And they realized, oh shit, Jordan Peele only produced this, he did not direct it. And me knowing that going in, I managed my expectations. I was like, alright, this is not a Peele film. It's just under his supervision. He really hardly had anything to do with it creatively, I'd imagine. And I understand why he fired his people for not getting him weapons and instead getting this. God. Honestly, Him, at its core, I think the filmmaking is excellent. I think the director is really great here. I think I like the way that this movie kind of it kind of flows like it's a music video, which is so weird to say, but that's just how it feels. I think that all the colors are really neat in the movie, the way it utilizes colors, the lighting, the cinematography is really great. I think the performances are excellent from Marlon and Tyreek. I think the movie just kind of gets lost in itself, I think. It just doesn't have a whole lot to say, but it keeps trying to, push you into thinking oh, there's some deeper meanings here. To be famous, people will be willing to sacrifice anything. And yeah, I understood that from the trailer, honestly, from what it looked like this dude was going to be putting in to be the GOAT, to be this football star. And throughout the training in this movie, as we're going from day to day to day, I was like, man, I'm getting tired of just going through these days of, endless, this guy is suffering, he's pushing himself, he's putting everything and anything on the line. I was looking for more out of this movie, and unfortunately, it just didn't give it to me. So, filmmaking-wise, excellent, just the execution, the script, just not really working for me. So, I'm just going to put it in the mid-tier for now, because it's not something I really see myself watching again, but I can appreciate the filmmaking behind it.
This one's for me. Mom, I miss you.
Oh my god, we got hit with another movie that just left me with nothing. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, starring Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. Two excellent actors with a load of talent, and I felt no chemistry between them whatsoever. How the fuck do you do that? I don't know, man. This script, I didn't mention it in my review. I put it on the bullet points when I was giving my score, but this movie, the writing is just so bad. I don't get the writing in this movie. The script is... the script is shit, I'm sorry to say. I don't know how many people this person that wrote this script has been around, but they need to surround themselves with more human beings, because no human talks the way that Colin and Margot or anyone in this movie talks. The dialogue is so off. It's like there's a quirkiness to it, but at the same time, when you really think about it, it's like no one would ever talk like that, phrase something this way, react this way to something. It just did not add up to me. And you have a story where it's just structured in such a repetitive way, where you have these two people that meet at a wedding, they're leaving to go home, and they get told by their car that, you want to go on a big, beautiful journey, big, bold, beautiful journey, and they agree, and they go through all these memories, these past memories, they relive memories with, past lovers, or past, high school crush, or Margot's character has a mother that she wasn't there for when she died, so she gets to relive some memories with her, which I thought was kind of charming. The idea of it, like I said, it's just so repetitive, where we're going through these memories, and then we're going back to the car, and then we're going to memories, going back to the car. It just, oh man, once again, like him, it got lost in itself. There's too many ideas. Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, I will be putting that one on the bad tier, because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
The one that survived. You were stabbed, right?
The Strangers Chapter 1 was one of my least favorite movies of last year, and sorry to say, The Strangers Chapter 2 is going right along with it this year. I don't really think anyone went into this movie being like, alright, I am hyped for more Strangers after that banger that was Chapter 1. Maybe, honestly, I shouldn't say that, because there are fans of The Strangers. I'm not trying to... Strangers fans, I'm not trying to down you on your franchise, okay? I just fucking hate it. I don't get it. I don't get the fascination with the franchise. I don't get the interest. But for those of you that do like it, I'm not trying to yuck your yum. Really, if you enjoy it, fucking awesome. I'm glad. I hope you loved this movie. I really do. The positives for me, honestly, was just the main actress, Madeline. She had to film this, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 all, at once, going from, one movie to the next, which honestly people would be like, oh, that's less work. She gets all 3 movies done in one go. But when you think about it, she has to act differently for each movie, because with each movie she's becoming more, survivalistic and unhinged and kind of fucking psycho, but, rightfully so, because she's being tormented by these fucking crazy-ass strangers. And Strangers Chapter 2, simply put, it's just fucking pointless. I don't understand what's supposed to be intense about this movie, because we know that she's not gonna die here. There is a Chapter 3, which at this point should be dumped on streaming or dumped in the dollar bin at Walmart, because what the fuck? Like I said, the actress, I really do enjoy. I think she's good in the movie. She has potential, and I respect her work ethic for these movies, but they are just not for me. So The Strangers Chapter 2, going in the bad tier.
Maybe you should have studied the Rebellion text a little harder.
I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
Okay, and I ended the month with one battle after another. The new Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I've not watched any of his past work except for Licorice Pizza, and I didn't really like it. This stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, who is a newcomer, and she does pretty damn good in this movie. I've only seen her in one other thing. Tiona Taylor, Regina Hall. There's a lot of great names in this movie. They all put in good performances. Leo, Benicio, and Sean in particular is who I really... and Chase. They're who I really enjoyed in particular. Benicio del Toro doesn't have, a lot of time in the movie, but when he is on screen and he's helping out Leo's character, especially towards the end of his part in this movie, I was really enjoying him. Leo, he's shouting and he's saying fuck every 5 seconds. And he's mad after his daughter, trying to find his daughter, which I can respect the hell out of him for that. Really did enjoy his character in this movie. He did a great job. Sean Penn as Colonel Lockjaw is fucking hilarious. In probably the ways that he shouldn't be, because he should be threatening. Great filmmaking-wise, cinematography, all that. Political thrillers don't do a lot for me. It takes a lot for a political thriller to really hook me. And this movie just doesn't really do that to its full potential. The last hour of the movie is when I was the most engaged, and this is like a close to 3 hour movie, so that's a lot of time where I was just kind of like, okay, like this is fine. So I think that it's good. I'm gonna put it in the good tier. I wanted some more. I wanted to love it more, but I think I might have hyped it up in my brain a bit too much too. But that's my own problem. So that's gonna be it for the ranking. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the films that I listed down in the comments below. Tell me what you thought of them. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care and goodbye.